Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome officially to day 2 of OSCC 2025. Welcome. I'm trying to get hold of the speakers, but Abel and Jerry, at any point in time, probably if you are hearing me, you can just give me the feedback at any point in time. So let's kickstart. As usual, let us know where you are joining us from in the comment section. Just drop your country you are joining us from. Okay, from China, Sierra Leone, China, from Chad, China, Liberia, Nigeria, Liberia, okay, the Liberian family. Okay, Hassan from Sierra Leone.
Recording in progress.
Okay. I think I have to switch and join the other side. I hope I will get the speakers already left social media. So I hope probably they will join later on and we can take it up from here. And please give me a feedback again if you can hear me. I'm using my phone now. So thank you all for joining from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Sierra Leone.
Yes, I can hear you.
China, Liberia, Chad. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining. So we are here, day 2 of OSCC 2025. And let's get started. Volunteer Willie, I make you co-host. Let me see. Other volunteers that are around. Volunteers, please make something a little bit easier and put volunteer to your name so I can find you quickly and make some of you co-hosts so you can meet people and also take charge of other things. I think I saw Prince. Okay. All right. I will check back and make the other volunteer co-host. So let's take our welcome statement or welcome remarks from a special volunteer, C. Antonio Willie II. So if you are there, please unmute yourself and officially welcome us to day 2. Yeah, you are coming in a little bit low, so maybe you can amplify.
Yeah, am I being heard?
Perfect, now? Perfect.
Okay, I'm so sorry for the little delay, trying to switch from one device to another. So quickly, I would like to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of us, wherever we are joining from. I want to say you all are highly welcome for and on behalf of TRT Network. I want to say you are welcome to OSCC. This is not just a training like some of us may want to consider it. This is an experience that is intended to change our mindset about TRT or tech as a whole. So I would like to also encourage you to take a pen and paper and jot down every important information that will be disseminated to us today, because that is the essence for which all of us are here. So I want to say you are welcome again. Enjoy your time for the next few hours and learn something meaningful that will benefit you tomorrow. God bless all of us for coming. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So we watched this video yesterday, and the video is also on the, okay, I think Jala is around. Let me make you co-host. The video is also on TIT website as well, and also I think it's on the YouTube channel. So you can always go there and watch it. And thank you all for joining, and keep dropping your location. Probably somebody here from that region want to connect with you. Somebody from Nigeria, from Chad, Sierra Leone, Liberia, China. We are all here tonight. Okay, gotta say in Beijing, or in internet. So officially, from an end, if you were in here yesterday, probably today is your first day. Welcome. And this is the 8th edition of the program. We usually conduct this program biannual, that is twice a year, and during the winter's break and also during the summer's break. So this one is during the summer's break. And we also have speakers. We'll be covering up for the remaining days. At the end of the training, we'll give out certificates to those of whom that meet the requirement. And the requirement is simple. Just attend 5 of the 6 days or all of the 6 days, and you should be qualified to get a certificate. But then your attendance of each of the days will be marked. And yesterday we shared the attendance records. Probably 1 or 2 persons said we're not seeing their name, and we diverted them to YouTube so that they can go there and check. And some people were able to find their names there from the YouTube. So you can also do the same if you are here today, and probably when attendance is released and you cannot find your name, please check the YouTube video and go to the very last part of the video. You will see where we did the attendance. Also, we are also open up for partnership. If you want to partner with us by any other means, we are also open to that. Probably you can contribute with your service, your time, whatever resources you have as well. Abigail, I see you there. Please try to change your name. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Also, yesterday we played this video. I don't want to bore us again by playing it, but I hope our speakers are here. Today we should be having 2 speakers as we posted in a message yesterday. We should be having Abel and Jared, but I can't find any of them in the comment section. I mean, I'm on the list of participants. It's another day. I hope we'll be able to get them, because I don't want us to postpone this time till Sunday or another day to make up. So this video is also on the YouTube page and as well on the website. And we're going to show you the link to visit the page and as well the website. So on the last day, we will launch the survey form, and then you can give us your feedback about the program, and probably we can work on it for the next edition. And as well, you can just take a screenshot of this. Probably later on in December or January, application will be open, and you can apply to Ohio University. Probably you might be accepted, or your friend might be accepted, or somebody you might also recommend. And that's the university that I'm attending. And they have 3 campuses, just 2 here for now. The other picture, I didn't put it there, in 2 different cities. Yeah, we have a couple of people joining, different discipline, different background, joining the program. And as you saw in the comment section, we have people from Nigeria, from Chad, from Liberia, Sierra Leone, different countries. And many of these people here, they are all not technical people, or AKA computer science students. Some of them are auditor, accountant, researchers. Some of them are lecturers, medical practitioner, CVO, civil servant, just different people joining the program, though it is technical or computer related. There's no tuition. We don't charge for anything. I mean, if you're talking about the school, the application process, if you apply first, and then you will get the update. So I mean, this first, if you apply first, they will give you the feedback if you are accepted or not. And if you are accepted, then they will tell you which class of scholarship they are giving you, first, second, or third class of scholarship. So when they give you the first class scholarship, they will also indicate on the admission document that you have been given first class, and it's going to cover every other thing like your tuition, your living or accommodation, insurance, and they'll also give you monthly stipend. That is the first class. The second class, you will get everything except the monthly stipend. Yeah, and the monthly stipend for master's student is 1,700, and for PhD, for the university scholarship is 2,000. But if you get a third class scholarship, that means you will not get the monthly stipend, and also the accommodation will not be paid or paid for. They will only pay your tuition, but they won't pay your accommodation, and they won't give you monthly stipend. So if you apply, and these are the 3 categories that you fall in. It's out of 1, let's say 4 categories. Either you are accepted or rejected, and if you are accepted, you have 3 categories to go through. So this is the certificate that will be issuing out to you on the last day. Yeah, they have scholarship for bachelor students, but mostly it's recommended for you to either have HSK or Chinese level certification for the bachelor students, because probably you might be sitting in classes with Chinese students. But for those doing masters and PhD, you won't be in classes with Chinese students. You will be in class with other foreign students, and the lectures are all in English. For the bachelor, probably you will have maybe Chinese classmate or some courses in Chinese. So we issue out a certificate on the last day, and on the certificate, we also have the ID that can be used later on to download your certificate. This ID is similar to the attendees' numbers. When you first register, you receive a confirmation email. On that email, if you check carefully, let me disable this. If you check carefully, you observe that there is an attendee number that is there. So you can also use it as the same ID here. Or you can use your last name to download your certificate. Just input your last name in the system or through the website, and you should be able to download your certificate. So participant will get, volunteer will get also, and as well as the speakers will also get certificates. So the bachelor program is for 4 years. The master's program in HOHA is for 3 years. The PhD program is for 4 years. But other university master's programs are for 2 years or maybe 1 year, 8 months. But for HOHA, it's 3 years. So you have 1 year to do your courses, and then you have 2 years for research. The same for PhD, you have the same 1 year to do your courses, and then the other 3 years for research. For bachelor's program, oh, thank you. Abel, see, I get a green light from Abel from your, yeah, God is good all the time. Thank you for joining. So if you can hear me, please prepare. Please prepare, Abel, if you can hear me.
Yes,
So we
yes,
would.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. I was really worried about today, like before these guys came and said, Olano, today again, no speaker. But thank you for joining. Yeah. So who is playing with this thing on the screen? Guys, stop drawing things. This is not kindergarten. You want to do ABC. I think I disabled this feature, so you shouldn't be able to get it, but okay, sorry. Somebody keep drawing on the screen, so I want to try to disable it. All right, let's see. I think probably that should work, but if the person come back, then we'll find them. So if you visit the site, go on a training tab, and then you will find certificate verification. Once you click on that, you will see this train. From this train, the scholarship program free or percentage free. Just the link that I share, you can just use that link and you can read more about it. The application process is free. I mean, not free though, sorry. They have application fee of 400 Chinese money, which is roughly around maybe, I think it's less than $50. Or just take it as $50 or $60 for the application fees. Application fee, $50 or $60. That's it. The website is there. You can apply for yourself. If you need somebody to apply for you, then you can find a person. But everything is there. The instructions are all there. So you visit the site at the end of the day to download your certificate, because emailing certificate to all of you or sending it to your WeChat or your WhatsApp is going to take us time. That's what we did in the beginning, the first 2 editions of the program. We used to send a certificate out to your WeChat and WhatsApp, but then as Teah Innovative Tech, we have to innovate something to at least ease the job. So on the website, we integrated this aspect of downloading the certificate. The very first time we did it was for you to only verify. So when you put in your name or your certificate ID, then the system is going to tell you, oh yes, you attended this program on this date and the time, and this was the program, whether OWCC or OSCC, it will tell you that one. So we even have it, if you check way below, we have that, that feature still available, but then we upgraded it so that you can also download your certificate. And we're gonna keep doing more. So these are the speakers that we will be having. The other speakers of yesterday that weren't available, we have scheduled him for tomorrow. So tomorrow we should be having Hadji Massaquoi and that of Willie B. Tingba Jr. We should be having them tomorrow. And the day after tomorrow, we should be having Thierry Pan and that of Helen Momo. So somebody was even asking again today on the WhatsApp group, what's the topic or who the speaker for today? We shared that already yesterday based on your recommendation and your suggestions to know the agenda. Thanks ever so much to all of the volunteers that are out here. Is the link for Hoa University? I can see it. We shared already the previous screen. Probably we will share later on, or you can check the YouTube video. In the beginning of time, you will see it there later on. So thanks to all of the volunteers once more. Lucas, Nakili, Hope, Willie, Francine, Jala, Jefferson, Ula, Saidu, Tohidu, Prince, Abraham, Christopher, Mohammed, Alpha. Thanks to all of you guys for helping. Yesterday, they were working on your attendance records, and some of them were very fast. I was even asking if they were using some kind of AI system. So the website is here. That is titnetwork.org. You can go there and find everything. Also, the Instagram, I think 3 or 4 person follow the Instagram page yesterday. You can also follow, it's TIT Network _. That's the handle. And then the WhatsApp group, You can scan this QR code to join the WhatsApp group. There where we share the attendance record every day and any other thing that we have. So please take a screenshot now before we leave from this train, please. Go in 3, go in 2, go in 1, okay. So also we have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. You can find us on Facebook, Teah Innovative Tech, TIT, that is the Facebook page. And the Facebook group is TIT, Your Niche Technology. And then on YouTube, you can find us through the video link that we even shared with you yesterday. Or you can go to YouTube and put Teah Innovative Tech, or you put TIT 6299, you're going to find us there on YouTube. And all of the videos from past programs, they are also there. So you can go there and just refresh yourself. On WeChat, some of you added me and I added you to the group yesterday, but I think some of you haven't joined. So you can scan the first code, the QR code there. That's my WeChat QR code, and I can add you to the WeChat group in case you are in China. Or if you are probably outside of China and is advisable to join the WhatsApp group, because the same information I always share there. So this is the last slide, and after this slide, we'll be hearing from our speaker directly. At the end of the program, we're going to do the selfie attendance. Everybody turn on the camera, and then we take the attendance. Attendance is taken at the end of the program, not now. So if you have been here, probably listening to everything, this is not the attendance time. If you leave now, you will not be considered. So we hope that you will all stay until the end of today, and then we can capture you in the attendance. Thank you so much. And now let's switch to our speaker, Abel. Abel has been one of the speaker that has contributed a lot to this program. He has been on so many different sessions of the program, and he's not a stranger to this platform. Abel, if you are there, you can unmute yourself while the people are gearing up to welcome you. You can unmute yourself. Let's hear you out first. I can still see you here, but just unmute yourself.
I'm here. Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you. So
okay.
To all of the TIT people, let us give it up for Abel in the chat session. Let's welcome our speaker for today. So if you are there, you can share your screen and proceed. He's going to be speaking on AI for web development. So probably I think he's going to go in detail, then probably we'll talk more about it. But welcome, Abel.
Yes, thank you.
Screen.
So let me, okay. So I'm joining you guys from
Sorry, you can go ahead. Say you're joining us from where?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Well, my name is Abel Massaley, and I'm a software engineer and also a businessman. That is someone that is interested in making startups and those kind of things. So it's always a pleasure to be on this event, especially this is the 5th edition. And I can see that our organizer, that is Olano Teah Bloh, have been doing very well, especially cultivating the minds of all the brilliant, young people. This is an opportunity that we all have shared, to learn from each other. So today, as time is fast spent, I'm joining you guys from because it's evening time where I am. I'm joining you guys from Japan here. And I understand that we have participants from Liberia, China, some part of the US, even Europe and all that. So I just want to say, wherever you're joining from, I just want to say, hope you're having a good day. And okay, so let's get down to business. First of all, I just want to confirm if you guys are seeing my screen.
Not yet.
Okay. 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 So what about now?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming. Yeah, now we can see it.
Okay, good. So today we will be talking on one of the topics that I've shared on before, and that is web development in the age of artificial intelligence. So we know we live in an age now that artificial intelligence is everywhere, around the place. Most people, we use that for productivity, and sometimes some people think that because of artificial intelligence, there are no need for some field or some career going to go down to the drain. So I'm here to talk about web development in this time, which is the age of artificial intelligence. So what to expect from a presentation? This is the outline. So first of all, we're going to look at the introduction to generative artificial intelligence. Then I will talk about overview of LLMs, and we will also talk about the evolution of software development. So we're going to look at how far, software development have gone. And then we'll also look at coding with AI. So there's a term called fab coding. So we're going to look at that also. Then we're going to look at the big question, which is coding still necessary? Because this is something that I've seen a lot around a lot. Most people keep asking the questions, especially those that are beginner in the field of software development, especially web development. They're always asking, is it still necessary that I learn how to code? So we're gonna go through that big question together, and then we will also look at how we can collaborate with AI as developers. And then we'll look at some ethical considerations in artificial intelligence and how to prepare for the future. Then after that, we will have a brief question and answer session, and then we call it a day. So sit tight and brace yourself as we dive through this presentation. Uh, so before I begin, I just want to confirm again from the uh, chat session here if I'm loud and clear enough. If I'm loud and clear enough.
Yes, you are loud.
And then we can.
Yes.
Yes, you
Yes,
are
you are.
clear. We can hear you.
Okay. So let's go down to business. So what is generative AI? So generative AI referred to it's just a type of artificial intelligence that is designed to generate new content or data that resembles something that it has been trained on. So this is just a simple, non-technical explanation for this. So in simple terms, it's like teaching a computer to create something new, such as images, text, music, um, and even code. So nowadays we see AI even creating prototypes or demos of apps. So all these things are done through generative AI. Before the age of this generative AI, we used to have the form of AI that just makes suggestions, and that was a predictive AI. So if you have noticed, there is something called algorithm in most of these social media apps that they make recommendations. So let's say recommendation AI. So it's the same form of AI, but it just recommend content based on the user behavior or the user taste. So now in the new era of artificial intelligence that we can see is very popular now is the generative AI era. Before it was the recommendation AI, but now we have the generative AI. So there's a stage where computer generate content. So let's look at some benefits of this generative AI. So some benefit is content generation. So you see, this is the aspect where artificial intelligence generate content for website, and social media, helping you to save time. There's also language translations. it help you, to accurately translate between languages, especially those languages that were first hard to, read and understand, also enhancing global communication. So there is some artistic creativity feel to that. AI can now generate music, like full rap song. AI can also generate poetry, and it can do a whole lot more in the creative space. Then there's also augmented data augmentation. So AI can be used to generate synthetic data to improve machine learning models. So there's also chatbots and virtual assistant. So in those who work in the customer service industry, or those who work in the field where you have to deal with a lot of customers, there will always be people having questions, and before then, having to hire many people to do that, it used to be very costly on a business. So this part of AI benefit businesses more because you just have a chat box. A chatbot that is very, very aware of every uh, question or answer that is within an entity. So improving, customer experience and also being very cost effective. Now there's AI, generative AI also help in the field of medical diagnosis. So there are some research that have been published in the field of AI, making some groundbreaking, miracles in the space of cancer research and those kind of things. So there are also autonomous vehicle enhancement. So AI, generative AI also help to enhance, the self-driving experience, especially the perception of the car and in the process of decision making. Now, personalization, this is where I talk about the recommendation part of AI, and then scientific research and natural language processing. So now let's look at LLMs. There's something called large language model. So just a disclaimer, when I was making this PPT, I made this PPT in mind that most of my audience are people who are new to software development as a whole, or this career field. So most of what I'm going to be saying is going to be in the most basic form, but I'm not going to use too much of software development terms or some of those jargons. I just want you to understand that. So LLM stands for large language model. So they are advanced type of language model that is trained using deep learning techniques on massive amount of text data. So most of these, there are many large language models that we see nowadays, and most of them can be used to answer to varieties of prompt that we give them. So let's look at the difference between these two. So there's a difference between LLMs and generative AI. So generative AI is like a big playground with a lot of different toys for making new things. And it can create poems, music, pictures, and even videos. Unlike LLM, they are like the text builder in that playground. So they are really good at using words to make stories, translate language, write code, or answer questions. Okay, so what are some examples of generative AI and LLMs? So one of the most famous one that we all know, and I believe we have all experienced, is the Chat GPT. So this is an LLM that was developed by the company OpenAI. So there's also GitHub Copilot, which help you in the process of coding, and there is Google Bard, or let's say there is Gemini, because the time I made this PPT, it was last year, the last edition that I was invited, So there is a Google Gemini, and there's Delhi by OpenAI also, and we also have Midjourney. So now there is also Meta AI, which is the Lamla. Okay, so Now, there is also something called multimodal generative AI. So this is when an AI can do more than one thing. So in a sense, like instead of just giving out, you know, results, it also accept, information and process that. What do I mean? So this is the part where AI cannot just, give out text, but it's also generate video, it also create the song, so it do more than one thing. So this process is called multimodal. So, for example, we can see Google Gemini is a good example of multimodal. So Gemini is not just, it's not just restricted to one thing, but it also generate video, it give answer questions based on text, generate audios and those kind of things. And we also have GPT-4. So this generative pre-trained transformer 4 is a multimodal large language model created by OpenAI. And yeah, so these two are common example of multimodal generative AI. Okay, I can see someone drawing on the screen.
Yeah, I think that should be okay. You can check. Yeah, you should be able to go ahead. I think it's
Okay. Okay, so next, this is an example of a quick demo of multimodal. So just for the sake of time, I'm not going to play this video. We're just going to skip right through. But then we're going to look at the evolution of coding and software development. So programming and coding has come a long way with new innovations and technology driving it, right? So there are programming
Abel,
skills. Yes.
Abel, if you have, you can play it because I'm Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah,
No problem.
I'm getting Jerry, so you can just flow until I get Jerry. I'll notify you.
Okay. So since we have a little bit of time, let's look at an example of multimodal artificial intelligence in play. So I'm just going to play this video and mute my microphone.
I think you didn't share the sound when you were sharing your computer sound.
Or jagged edges.
Okay.
It looks like a bird to me. What if I add this? All right, testing Gemini. Here we go. Tell me what you see. I see you placing a piece of paper on the table. I see a squiggly line. What about now? The contour lines are smooth and flowing, with no sharp angles or jagged edges. It looks like a bird to me. What if I add this? The bird is swimming in the water. It has a long neck and beak. It is a duck. Yes. A duck is a type of waterfowl in the family Anatidae. Ducks are closely related to geese and swans. The duck appears to be blue. This is not a common color for ducks. However, there are some breeds of blue ducks. These are typically not as common as other duck breeds. It is more common for ducks to be brown, black, or white. Are you sure? What the quack? I was just talking about a blue duck, and now you're holding one. It looks like blue ducks are more common than I thought. Would this float? I'm not sure what material it's made of, but it looks like it might be rubber or plastic. What if I tell you it's making a squeaking sound? Oh, if it's squeaking, it's definitely going to float. Nice. It is a rubber duck. It is made of a material that is less dense than water. Can you teach me how to say this in a different language? And give me a few options. Ooh, can you explain how to pronounce the Mandarin one?
Is it Yazi?
Yazi is pronounced with a first tone. In Mandarin, there are 4 tones, which are essential to distinguish the meaning of words. The first tone is a high-level tone.
Oh, okay.
The duck is in the middle of the ocean. There is no land nearby for the duck to rest or find food. It is unlike...
Abel, I think you are muted, so the sound also.
Guess the country.
Sure, let's do it.
Clue 1. This country is the home of the kangaroo.
Come up with a game idea. Oh, and use emojis, please.
How about this? We can play a game called Guess the Country.
Sure, let's do it.
Clue 1. This country is the home of the kangaroo, the koala, and the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, that's easy.
Clue 2. This country loves football and has won the most men's World Cups in football history. You are trying to get me to find the paper ball under the cup. I accept the challenge. The cup to the left.
Nice.
I know what you're doing. You're playing rock, paper, scissors.
What do you see now?
The fingers are spread out to look like the wings of a butterfly.
What's this?
Big ear and barking mouth. A dog.
Sweet.
The coin should be under the right hand.
I don't know.
The coin is in the left hand, using a sleight of hand technique to make it appear as if the coin has disappeared. Both objects are round and flat.
There you go.
Both are food. The orange is a healthier choice than the cookie. Citrus can be calming, and so can the spin of the fidget toy. They are both examples of popular toys that have been enjoyed by children and adults alike for many years.
Give me some ideas for what I could make with it.
I see pink and green yarn. How about a dragon fruit? Or how about a green cake with a pink heart?
Okay, how about these colors? And maybe show me some animals.
Okay, now I see blue and pink yarn. How about a pig with blue ears? Or an octopus? Or a bunny with a pink nose?
Ooh, I'll keep those in mind. Which way should the duck go?
Going left leads to a duck, which is a friend. Go right leads to a bear, which is a foe. It is better to make friends than foes, so the duck should go left.
Smart choice.
This is a picture of a crab.
That's right. Is this the right order?
No, the correct order is Sun, Earth, Saturn.
Based on their design, which of these would go faster?
The car on the right would be faster. It is more aerodynamic.
Which looks more fun?
The one on the right, because it has a loop.
What do you think this person might be saying?
How about a woohoo?
Oh, I love that.
I see you're drawing a guitar. You've added an amp. Now it's an electric guitar. We can make some seriously loud music now. Given that you added drums, how about some 80s hair metal? All right, I see you added a palm tree to the drawing. Change it up with some beachy vibes.
What movie are they acting out here?
I think they are acting out the famous bullet time scene from The Matrix.
Ooh, nice. What do you think might happen next?
The cat is going to jump to the wall and stick the landing. It's going to be a perfect 10. Oh, and it's a miss. It looks like it was just a little too far away, but don't worry. The cat is a natural athlete and it will be back up there in no time.
Okay, I've got one more for you. Describe the drawing I made.
It is a simple line drawing of the constellation Gemini. You did a good job of capturing the beauty of Gemini.
Nice. That's it.
Okay, so this was released by Google about 2 years ago to give out the concept of Gemini that they were working on at the time. And from that time up to now, we have seen that they achieve much of what we just saw in the video. So this is a perfect example of a multi-modal artificial intelligence where computers now cannot just, give out inputs like the way we used to say garbage in, garbage out, but computers computer can almost reason like humans. So let's proceed. Okay, so now we still on the topic of the evolution of coding and software development. So, however, it can also be a bit tedious and time consuming. So, software development or computer programming is the process where we, um, give some instructions to the computer to carry on specific tasks. But with such a task or such a job to do, it can be hard at times and it can also consume time because it's a lot of work, which can be also expensive to our mental health or social life. That's why you see most of the time those that used to be in programming, they always used to be isolated because they need time to process those projects that they work on. Today, programming languages such as Java, Python, and JavaScript, they are widely used for various applications. So programming is all about logic and writing well-organized instruction for computers to follow. But wait, is it still necessary to learn coding as we see AI generating codes from just natural language and things like that? Or will AI replace programmers? This is a question most people ask, especially those who want to venture into the field of web development or artificial intelligence. So in order to answer that question, I want to introduce something to you called vibe coding. This is a new kind of terminology that was put together in earlier this year by one programmer. So vibe coding is where people just code with the vibe. The term, we already know what vibe is. So it's a type of coding where you code without even knowing the syntax. You don't have to know how to write a single line of code. All you need is just natural language. For instance, you say you use AI and say build me a weather app. Just the way you operate with ChatGPT, and in maybe 10 minutes or let's say 5 minutes, you have a weather app. Or you say build me an e-commerce app, and then you have an e-commerce app. So with this, let's look at some of the popular vibe coding tools. So there is GitHub Copilot. This was made by GitHub. It is a coding assistant that suggests code in real time. There's also Amazon Q Developer, and then there's Cursor, which is an AI first code editor where you can describe features in plain English and generate or edit the code directly. So there is also one of the ones that I experienced recently is the Facial, where it helps you generate UI, using React or Nest.js component directly, from text description. But vibe coding has advantage and disadvantage. Just like everything, there's pros and cons. So let's look at the pros first of all. First of all, the pros, the good part of vibe coding. Okay, just a minute, please. One of the good aspects of vibe coding is it helps you to build prototype fast, and it's also easy. Beginner and non-coder can join. So, for instance, someone can say, I'm a vibe coder or I'm a vibe programmer, meaning I build app, but I don't know how to code. I just use my natural language to build apps. It's now a thing. But you could not say that like 2 years ago. And then it's also creative. It helps you to stay in flow and to test your ideas very fast. So let's take, for instance, you someone who, before then, there is something called prototype. Let's say you someone who you want to come up with your own e-commerce app. 2 years ago, you need to find someone who is a developer, and then you can describe what you want, and the person can, okay, come up with a concept, and the two of you can go and find investor, that's someone who's going to invest in that idea, and then you can launch your product. But now you don't need that. You don't need that. If you're someone who you have a lot of ideas, you can just go to one of those 5 coding tools and just describe what you want, and the AI going to generate a well-functioning prototype for you. But then let's look at the cons. So with that being said, someone might think, okay, but then if I have these tools, is it necessary that I still learn how to do the coding? So one of the cons of vibe coding, the code may be bulky or insecure. And this is very important in whatever software you do. Your code should not be bulky or it should not be insecure. In a sense, when I say bulky, there should not be too many errors because you need to maintain the code, and it should be very secure because now people are going to be giving you their personal information. And secondly, these vibe codes, they are very difficult to debug. If something goes wrong, even you hire someone who is a well-seasoned developer, it takes time for them to understand what is going on. And next is not great for big projects or complex projects. So software development is not just about writing code. It's also about solving a problem and maintaining the code over a long period of time. So you cannot use Vibe to code a serious project. Let's take, for instance, the government of Liberia want to digitize the national identification process where people can stay home and apply for the national ID. So you cannot use this kind of vibe coding to say you're going to develop such a thing because, first of all, we've already seen that the code is not 100% secure and there are a lot of errors. There's a possibility for you to experience a lot of errors. And also, it's also hard to debug. Now, there's also risks of over-reliance and less learning. So this is a personal thing. It's not something that has to do with the project, but you, the programmer. So it's going to make, in other words, it's going to make you lazy, right? You're not going to want to learn new skills because you're always going to rely on this simple process. Now, so let's look at this. Will AI replace programmers? Now, time to answer our question. AI is playing an increasingly important role in programming. We all know that. That is no doubt. But AI is being used to automate various aspects of programming, such as code generation, testing, and debugging. So with the help of machine learning algorithms, AI can learn from past code to predict and suggest solutions to programming problems. So personally, from my experience in the field, before then, if you have, let's say you're developing a weather app and then you experience some bug or some error in the code, it takes you time for you to look around from various platform finding solution as to where to, or how to solve that issue. But now AI help in making the process faster because now there are a lot of information that have been trained, that the AI have been trained on. So you just ask questions and it tell you directly this is how to solve that. So in itself, it is a blessing if you are someone who already have experience in the field of programming. Now, yeah, so to answer our question, AI is not going to replace programmers. Not now, not maybe in the next 30 or 40 years. AI is not going to replace programmers. If even there is a time that you want to be a programmer, that time is now. Because there are more tools coming up. There are more, innovations coming out that they need human creativity to, to operate. Now, AI is not replacing human. While it is true that AI can perform some tasks faster and more accurately, humans still excel in tasks that require creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, originality, and decision making. So these are the two places that humans excel, very well over AI: originality and decision making. So most of the creativity, AI is creative, human is also creative. AI now can do something like critical thinking. There's something called deep research. So it do a little bit of critical thinking, but and it also solve problems. But originality and decision making, AI cannot do that on its own, because AI in itself is not sentient. It's not, it don't have emotions. You understand? And there's no originality in most of what it does, because it need to see from past, work or experiences to be able to come up with something. Now, AI isn't replacing coders, but it is undoubtedly affecting how things are going to be done in the tech industry, especially web development. So, as I mentioned, coding is mostly about logic and creativity, and human logic is still far advanced than artificial intelligence. So, now we know that AI is not going to replace any programmer, or AI is not going to replace you as a software engineer. So how can we collaborate with AI as a software developer or web developer? So as a developer, AI can make your work faster and easier, like automating some of your repetitive tasks. AI can also be very good at debugging your code, like I mentioned earlier. And one of the frustrating aspects, which is one of the frustrating aspects in software development, that is debugging. Now, AI can also do predictive analysis and software optimization by recognizing patterns that might go unnoticed. Now, we all know that coding is very, very tedious, but with the help of AI, there are some of those patterns that you may, that you may not notice, or some things that you may leave out. With the help of AI, it can help you to, point those errors out and help your code to be more secure. This is why the demand for software developers is still there, especially those with experience. Now, so having said this, some smart programmers, what they did, they use AI to create tools that will help other developers work along. So for instance, there are AI productivity tools for debugging. Debugging is just basically when you are writing code and then you have errors in the code and you try to fix those errors. So I sure you already figured out that by now. So let's look at some of these tools. One of the tool is deep code. Okay. Okay. One of these tool is deep code, which is an AI-driven static code analysis for bug detection. And there is something called Code.c, which is it automates code review and enforces style, security, and performance rules. Yeah. Okay, just a minute.
Yeah, so guys, probably the speaker will soon finish. If you have a question, you can either write a question down on a paper, or you can drop a question in the chat session, and we are going to relay your question to the speaker. Or better still, the speaker is going to follow through from the chat session. So I hope today's session is not much more technical. Yeah, Abel, you can go ahead. You're back.
Yeah, thank you. So there are also AI tools for documentation and knowledge sharing. So making software is not just to only code, but you also need to document the things that you code, because there are differences. If you write something, you need to leave instructions to other developers as to how they can use that thing that you made. So documentation is one of the important aspect of development. So AI, this is one of the parts that most developers used to always shy away from, because it's hard to sit and make documentations for what you code. But now AI can help in this space. So there is a tool called Mintlify, which generates clean, structured documentation directly from your code. And there's also Code Assist, which is almost like GPT engineer-like tools, you know. So now, lastly, as we draw down the curtains, how to prepare for the future as a software engineer. So there are some fields, obviously, that is going to be obsolete. That is going to like go away. When I say there are some, let's say, roles in software development that is going to go away, but there are other roles that is going to even be in more demand. What do I mean by that? For instance, DevOps engineers. Most of these apps or website that is being made now, or web applications, they are becoming more powerful and they need somewhere to be hosted. So if you are DevOps engineers, you're someone who's going to help in that space of hosting those applications. So there's also artificial intelligence and machine learning developers. So there's a need for people who are going to be making algorithm, training models, carrying on model evaluation and model deployment and those kind of things. Now, these softwares that are being made, they're also going to need protection. They're going to need someone to protect them from, cyber attacks. So cybersecurity experts are also on the rise. Is also one of the fields that you can shift your career to. Now, there's also mobile app developers and IoT developers, that are Internet of Things developers as well. So I'll pause and take questions, then we can call it a day.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll give it up to our speaker before he leaves. So let's take a few questions that you may have. Yvette, are you seeing a chat session, or you want me to read it to you? Both are okay.
In a chat session right now.
Okay, so first thing, someone is asking for a PPT, if you will share it.
Okay, yes, for sure. I will share the PPT with our host, and then he will distribute it to you all.
All right, so the first question here, if somebody wants to practice coding, web development, and software development, what software would you recommend to that person that can be more user-friendly?
Okay, so first of all, the person need to download an IDE, and that is the code editor that they're going to use for writing the code. But if they're asking as to what are some of the tools that they would need that they're going to use to help them learn faster, is they can use for instance, they can use ChatGPT. The most easier one. The most easier one, and it's free. You can use ChatGPT. ChatGPT can be a teacher for you, and it can also help you, to be more, equipped when it comes to coding. I hope that answered the present question.
Okay. And then also to that, if you want to practice coding, then it's also advisable that you try to pick at least one language to start with.
Good.
Basically, maybe Python is going to be something interesting for you. You can start with Python and just try to master one language. Don't just be here, there, and everywhere in the beginning.
Yes, exactly. So
there's another question here. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Hey, go on.
I think are those. The person say, is those coding AI free or paid? I
Okay,
think it was
so
those.
some of them, yeah, some of them are free, but most of them they are on that something they call freemium plan, where you start free and then later on if you want to use it more, then you pay. But most of them, they are free for beginner level stuff that you'll be doing.
Okay. And then maybe the other question is in line to the first one. So what is the best way for me to start coding as a beginner?
The best way is just to put in time. That's the only thing, just to put in time. First of all, you need to get a good laptop. You cannot learn coding if you don't have a laptop. You can say, oh, let me get a phone or let me get a tablet. No, it cannot work. You need to get a laptop. There's a reason for which they call it programming languages. Because if you start to learn these languages, just like every other language, when you learn it and don't practice it, you're not going to go nowhere with it. So you need a laptop to be practicing what you learn. Yeah, and put in more time also as well.
Okay. So what are some advantages and disadvantages of coding for beginner?
Okay, so let's look at the advantage first. One of the advantage is you have the chance to make anything that you want. I mean, any tool or any software or app that you want. And also there are some compensation to that. If you are lucky, you get good job, and you have companies that pay you quite amount of money. For instance, where I am now, I've seen a lot of opportunities for people in the space of coding and software engineering and stuff like that. Then, but the disadvantage part is you need to put in time, and you need to like when I say time, it's going to take away from your social life. So if you're someone who always want to go out and socialize and do those kind of things, I mean, of course, as a human being, you need to do them, but that's what make it, disadvantage. So you're not going to be able to do that most of the time because it will require you to put in more time to study, or sometimes you have some projects to work on. You will, spend more time on them, and it can be expensive too sometimes because you have to pay for some tools, you have to pay for some courses, and you have to pay for internet. I mean, this is in regards to the place you live, especially if you're in Liberia, data is expensive, so that can be a disadvantage for coding. But on the bright side, the advantages are more than the disadvantage. So it's something that is advisable to get into if you want to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we will take
I think
maybe almost 3 questions. And then
I think I want to add something to what the facilitator said. Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
concerning the coding as a beginner, as you earlier said, you have to choose your language, the type of coding language that you want, like Python, JavaScript. Yes, you have to choose. You cannot just be doing anything at random as a beginner. You need to choose like Python. And for Python, you have to dedicate time. Because coding needs time, and you have to have a passion for it. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just doing it as people are doing. You have to develop some passion first. Then you dedicate time. Like as my brother said, you need to, develop from other kind of gatherings, and you keep time because it needs critical thinking. So basically, if on the soft side, you need to focus on those 3 points. Then you engage in online resources, free online resources to start the business, the syntax and other stuff. But more particularly, develop passion for it and put in mind that whether it is hard, you can overcome it. And by you'll be there. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Collins. Let's take 2 more from the comment section. The other person. Yeah, who's there? What's the name? Your line is not very clear. If you are using headset, maybe you can change so that we can hear you better. Yeah, try to go ahead. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead, Simon.
My question is, how can one be fluent with his or her code, like to remember the code? Because it can really be bugging. Whether you are practicing only HTML or you are on CSS or JavaScript or so on.
Okay, that's a good question. So I'm gonna answer this, and I'm also gonna allow our CEO to have a say in this too, because he's also experienced. So it's interesting how most of the time people always, how can I remember my code? How can I remember my code? Yeah, it is true the code is a lot, but coding is not something that you supposed to remember. If you try to do that, you're gonna like maybe do something to your brain, you know. So even the best programmers, those superstars we know in coding, they don't remember code. Coding is all about concept. For instance, it's like when you go to learn how to drive, they only teach you how to change gears, and they teach you um how to break break the car. I mean, stop the car, how to accelerate, how to slow down, those kind of things. How to maybe open the door, open the hood, change the oil. These are the kind of things they teach you. They don't teach you how to steer, the steering. You understand? Because it's something that you're just gonna like know based on the situation you are faced with, based on the road that you're driving on currently. It's something that you're gonna use your own description as a person. So what they are teaching you there in the concept of the car is just they're just teaching you concept, or they're teaching you the general things that you gonna need. Every other thing you use your own description. That's the same with coding. When you try to make whatever app or whatever software, they all need one thing. You need user registration. You need to operate with database. You need to operate with the APIs. You need login authentications and these kind of things. So you just need to understand the basis, and the basis are like arrays, knowing what variables are, knowing how to create objects, knowing how to insert into your database, how to retrieve from it, and knowing how to install packages. These are the kind of things you need to know from the basis. From there, every other thing is something that that's gonna come from that basis. You're gonna like derive from that basis. CEO, you can just add 1 or 2 words to that.
I think that is great for now, because remember your code also, you have to, like you said, you cannot remember each line.
So
for example,
possible.
maybe if your code is 500 lines, 800 lines, it's not possible to remember every line. But what you can remember is as long as you can understand the concept or understand the syntax, the data type, and those different modules, functions, or packages you are using, then it becomes easier. For example, if you are using the whatever function for math, then you know the kind of library to call, or you know the kind of model to call. So once you have that model, you know within that model what are all of the sub packages or libraries that are within that model, and then what each of them actually are used for. If we have the time with the R RStudio and the R programming, then we're going to see how we can better get a picture of it. So we will talk about that more. And also there's another person asking a question. I think that's Georgie, about if I want to learn from start, AI, machine learning, and all of that, what can I do? So on the 4th, that is the 21st, we have 2 speakers specifically on machine learning and AI. Tia Pond and Helen. They are going to talk everything about machine learning, AI, deep learning, and even the mathematics behind these systems that we are seeing. So we're going to have that session that is on the 21st. So you can also keep this question, and it's going to at least be answered in depth. So let's take 2 more persons. We can take all of the questions from the chat session here, but let's take 2 more persons from here. I think this one you should go fast with it. But Techno BF6, please rename yourself, then we can recognize your question. Somebody using Techno, I think it's a guy. He turned his video on, but I turned it off. So when I take your question, please follow what the volunteers are saying there. Rename yourself. How can one be fluent with his?
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Hello,
Lydia. Yes, hello.
Yes. Yeah. I'm Lydia from the Sutran Conference National System. I'm so happy to be a part of this. This is something where I've been struggling over because, my teacher in question now. I really don't understand, his way of presenting the lesson. And this is something where when I started school or becoming a programmer or a software developer was never part of my plan. But lab. So as a programmer now, what do you think really I can do to build up my skills? What are some of the apps you think that would be necessary for me? Because at times I try to build on my own. Sometimes, like you said, in the debugging and other things like that. If I have some errors and then in the coding will tell me say no, the one here is wrong, the one is this, and I will try to struggle. So is there any easier way you think I can be able to use to help me out too?
Okay, if you can go ahead. I don't want to yeah, sure.
No, please help me with that.
Yeah, so firstly, like you said, you are new and life has its own way of maybe twisting and turning us, especially for many of us in China. Some of us don't want to be here, but we just found ourselves here and we have to cope with the situation. So it's the same thing. You now have this problem or you're faced with this maybe research area where you have to code. And now you don't understand. Basically, you run into so many errors and all of that. My advice would be, one, you have to, whatever language you are using, I don't know the language you are using for writing your code, or first try to see how.
C language, C.
Okay, so these are the grandfathers of programming languages. C and C++ are the great grandparents of. So the syntax or the way they are written, it's kind of a little bit not beautiful or not interesting to someone. For example, if you're using maybe Python and you just want to print your name on a string, you can say print in parentheses with quotation, print later. But then if you want to use maybe C or C++, you have to use C out, C in with so many less than and greater than. So that language is not user-friendly. That's the reality. You are learning or you are starting from a very tough one. But if you learn that language, it makes your work very easy if you want to learn other languages. So there is this platform called W3 School. W as
yeah, I have it on my laptop. Yeah.
Okay. So you can make use of that and then, so make use of that and just learn the basic things that are there and try to familiarize yourself with them, understand all those basic things. And if you probably reach to that level where you are so cooked into it, then you can try to move ahead by learning other packages and models that comes with the C language. I'll be available in China. Abel I think his WeChat is still working, but you can always reach out and probably we can help when necessary.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Abel, we will take, there are so many questions, so many things. coming up here for you. This question, we just give the person the benefit of the doubt. That's Mikael. After generating the language using ChatGPT, so how can you run the code for browser or user on Google? I really don't get a question, but if I try to wrap my head around it, it's more of like, okay, now you get this thing from ChatGPT, you ask ChatGPT to give you whatever code to write the app or whatever it is. How do you run it? Because for ChatGPT now, they have released GPT-5. I don't know if some of you have used it, but they have released GPT-5, I think last week or so. And even GPT-4 and DeepSeek as well, they also have, if you are dealing with HTML correlated, you can be able to run it directly into your browser. But if it's something where you have to install packages and models, then like the speaker said, you will also need an IDE. That is the Integrated Development Environment. It's the place where you can now use to run your code or test your code. So you need to have that. Every programming languages, they have their own. Like for Python, you will need maybe PyCharm. For Java or JavaScript, maybe Eclipse or Jupyter, you will need them. So based on the language you are learning, then you can find the environment. For example, we'll be learning R. And that's what we say you should download R RStudio, because R RStudio is like the IDE of R. So with that, you can be able to, like VS Code, like even R RStudio. I mean, not R RStudio, Visual Studio. You can also use this environment to do specific things. So when you copy your code from GPT, you have to take it to that environment and run it. If it gives you error, copy the error and the code and just dash it back. And the guy is going to see with the reasoning that is having. But if you have anything on that, you can also proceed.
Oh yeah, I mean you said everything. I think most of the questions that some of the guys are asking, like this guy called Derek Bayoga, and the other person who are asking about how you can run your code in the browser. I think those are technical questions, and it's just unfortunate that today our presentation we don't have any technical component to it, so we cannot, talk, because that is something that you cannot explain. It's something that you can show. So for the sake of time and because I didn't prepare for that, so I cannot say I will, be able to answer that question fully. For the guy that talking about the AI Luma to generate content, again is something technical. Is something that we have to go on the website and tell you, say log in here and log in there. That was not the purpose of today's presentation. It's beyond that scope. So maybe along the line there'll be another speaker that's going to come, I believe, or the CEO, because I know he always find time to do that, to show you guys some of these tools and how to go about using them. So I think somewhere in the presentation or along the program days that he's going to do that. Yeah. So
All
thank
right.
you.
Yeah, you can give your parting statement so that people don't keep you here that long.
Yeah. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for joining. And it has always been a pleasure to have discussion with you all. One thing is that we are all the same. It's just the difference is maybe our faces, but it's not like sometimes when you venture into the coding or software engineering field, you tend to have that that syndrome to think like other people are doing well, or they are more, I would say, smarter or something, but there is not the case. We are all still in the learning process, so you should have that confidence in yourself and just put in more time, connect with people, make friends, put yourself inside code where people are, discussing coding and programming. These are the ways that some of us, survive or manage to at least get to the 50% of which we are. So it's just an advice or parting statement to you all that want to venture into this, and just put in more time, work hard, and like they say, whatever you work hard for, you always achieve, because there's nothing that is unachievable once you live on the earth. So that's all I can say, and thank you for the time. Thank you also, CEO.
All right. Thank you so much for always answering our call to be here to contribute towards the initiative that we are undertaking. To all of our people following, please leave your best wishes and appreciation for our speaker in the chat session. If you are following the program, please send your love emoji, your thank you messages. Yeah, Eva, you can stop sharing your screen, and then I will share mine. Since I can't get Jerry, I'm going to just talk about something.
Okay.
All right. So keep your appreciation coming for our speaker.
I really don't know how to do this, how to stop sharing my screen.
It should be above, way at the top.
So, okay. And then like cancel?
Yeah, or you can just cancel. Probably even if you leave the meeting and rejoin, then it will still work out. But let me see.
Okay.
I can replace that. No, it's okay. Just stay. I will replace it.
Okay.
I will override it.
Yeah, what about now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, thank you guys so much for your best wishes to our speaker. We can get the second speaker for today. She'll be joining us from the US. I think now it should be maybe, let me see the time currently there, and if he's sleeping. Okay, it should be 8 in the morning in Washington. It should be 5 in the morning in LA. I'm sure he's on the LA time, 5 in the morning. Yeah, so, but we're just going to give you an overview of the R and RStudio. We talked about them the last time when we had training specifically on R, and we also covered it when we were doing the OWCC. We also covered it on data visualization. So this time we're also going to do the same. So this entire screen you can see. Please first let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, it's okay.
Please. Oh, okay. All right, so this entire screen you are seeing, that is the RStudio. Like we're talking about IDE, or like you want to cook, but you need a kitchen. You need a place to cook. So this IDE thing is almost like that playground. It's like the place you need to do your work. So this is the playground or the environment that we can use if we want to do our programming for our data analysis. For some of you that are not interested into coding, and if you see these things, you'll be like, nah, I'm not seeing any too much of clicking and pictures and stuff. The only thing I'm seeing probably is a graph down there. How do I even start with this thing? So for this data analysis joining, we have different softwares. Probably you have heard about SPSS. That's the most common one many of us have heard about. Probably some of you also have used Stata. Some of you probably have used like different other versions out there. But then this one is the R and RStudio. With this one, there is no limitation. If you are using, maybe if you like to, for example, you import your data set or you import your data, you just want to basically go here and say, give me bar chart or give me this one. Like you are just choosing the chart you want. and based on your data, you select the various columns you want, then it's going to give you that chart. But then to an extent, you cannot customize that chart beyond what you really want. So using R RStudio, you have the ability to customize your chart, your analysis you have done. You have the ability to customize it to suit whatever you are doing. And that's why most of the clients that we have, we tell them that we use R RStudio for our work, because you might have this tax and you are telling us you want to do it this way and this way. But if we use SPSS, we have some limitations and we can't be able to achieve that. So most of our work we do, we use the R RStudio for it. For R RStudio is free because, and that's what we call something open source. So you hear about open source software, it's a community or a system where we understand that, okay, people are charging to do this thing. People are charging for people to use the platform. If you want to use SPSS, maybe your teacher have given you a lesson version, or your university has paid for the lesson version, or maybe you are using a crack version of it, but you need to buy it. And for many students, they don't have the money. Or if you are just, can you provide a duration for one session? The first session is over already. The program should end by 9:30. So we are here until 9:30. The first speaker is done. So for many of us, we don't have the money to basically buy these softwares. And that is where R RStudio come in. You can download it for free. So we have it on the TIT website. You can also go and visit the RStudio webpage, and you can also be able to download it there as well. So with this, I will just drill you through the various screens you are seeing, and then once it's time for us to go in depth, at least we'll not be starting from scratch. For some of you now, you already know the majority of it because you have attended the last two trainings that we talk about these things. And some of you also attended the personal classes that are conducted. So you probably on another level. But for some of us who aren't, let's try to understand what is this we are seeing. So we have, you can see that we have four different, I just clicked on. We have four different windows or four different sessions. Volunteers, you can please check and mute any other person that will be speaking. I can hear a sound coming from Sunday. Okay, Sunday, today is Tuesday. So we can see that we have four different windows, right? In this space is where we can type our codes or all of the instructions we want is where we can type it in this area. So this is the script area. In RStudio, you have the ability to even write pattern codes. So even write C code or C++ code. You can write it here as well. But it's much more suitable for R coding. But you can also write other code as well from there. And then in this other area below here is the console. So if you just install the R comes like what we were doing yesterday for some of you that stay, like the command prompt of the CMD. It comes in similar pattern or similar form. Using just the arrow, you can still be able to type your code, but then you are not going to have the environment where when you import your data set to see it, or when you create a variable to see it, you will not have that environment. You will just have a console where you can just type something, and after every line of what you will type, it will be executed. So it's not advisable to type your code using the console. If you execute a command from your script area above, the execution will also reflect at the console area. And even if you are installing a package, you will also see that it gives you as well from this console area. So those are asking for the WhatsApp QR code. The volunteer will also help you with that, or some of your friends will help you. On this right side of the screen, well, you can see all of these blue, probably blue icon behind these guys. This is the environment area. In this environment area, if you import your data set, if you upload your data set, maybe you are working on a data for, let's say, all of the students in a particular class, their names, their sex, their grades, and whatever information that you have in that data set. Once you import that data set or upload that data set, it's going to reflect here. It's going to reflect here. For example, you can see filter data clean. That is another data that probably I have tried to clean. Cleaning data means you basically, maybe you have some columns or some cells where the person never entered any information. You went into the feed to collect data, or you release your survey and you ask people maybe for their age or their date of birth, but you never make that feed to be a required feed. So it's optional, anybody can fill it in. So some people decided not to fill in that area. So that means you will probably be having missing data. You'll be having missing data. So you have to clean the data to make the data to be ready for analysis. So every data you import will come here. You can manually import a data using the import data set option that is right here. And it just gives you the most commonly used data set. Maybe it comes from SPSS, from Stata, from SAS, or from Excel. You can import that data directly from here. You can also import it using the code or using the command, right? And once you import, it's going to come here and show you everything. Below here, where you can see this graph of most enjoyed webinar days. If you check the data that we did after the last program of OWCC, you will also see a graph like this. That was the data we were analyzing to release to the public on all of these things that you are seeing now. And it's also on our site, and we also share this information out there. So this is where we do the analysis. It's not AI generating the code, I mean everything for you. No, we are doing it from here. On this guy, we also have the ability to install packages. We can also see the help area where we can learn. R RStudio gave us the ability to learn about any function, any keywords, any package. For example, you want to run a command and you don't understand that particular word. You can come here to your help area and then you search for that word. It's going to give you the meaning of it, as well as give you some examples on how to write code or instruction based on that word. The file area, you can also be able to import the data as well from here. You can also change your current folder you are working with. You can rename a folder, delete a file, and do so many things from here. Using just the R by itself, you will not have all of these functionalities or ability to do so. It won't give you the ability to do so. So that is why we use the R RStudio to help us with that. And using R, we also have the ability to generate tables. So whenever you generate a table, not just graph alone you can generate, but if you generate a table, it's going to come on a viewer. If you generate anything that is 3D related, maybe for example, is a Forex, or you want to see maybe the rate on how it has been fluctuating based on different years in a 3D pattern, then that result after running your code is going to come on a presentation. It will not come on a plot, because plot will just be for graphs related, not anything about table or animation. So these are the 4 basic areas that we have for R Studio. I will pause here. If you have any question based on what I've explained, then I will answer that. If you don't have, then we can move further to understand additional things. So I will check the chat session. If you have any question based on what we have explained, please be advised that the session is still ongoing. We are going to end 9:30 or before 9:30. And around that time, we're going to take our attendance. So if you probably leave now, or for those of you that will listen to the video later, if you are not here, we have not taken attendance yet. Attendance will be taken later on. So if any questions or concerns, based on what I've explained, how do you import from Excel? To import from Excel, you can, under the environment tab here, just visit titnetwork.org/training. From the website, you will also see it, but I will try to, I think I shared before in the group, so I will just reshare the link in the WhatsApp and the WeChat group. So to import maybe Excel file, you can come here to import dataset, and then you say from Excel. Once you click on this one, it's going to bring up a dialog box that will give you the ability to browse or locate that file. So when you see this screen, you click here on Browse. In the upper right corner, you click on Browse, and then that will take you to your computer where you can find where you have that specific data set. Where you can find a specific data set is going to open up. You can locate it and see where you can find it. That one is based on your own description. You know where you kept your file, so you can find it. For me, you can see different things are here. So once you select it, for example, let's select this. I just wanted to CSV file, no problem. But we have to change the syntax. If you click on, for example, I just click on this one and move on. Once you click on it, and then you click here on Open. If that file matches the Excel format, then it's going to show you or give you a preview of the entire data. It's going to give you a preview of the entire data. And then if you look below, you will see the option for you to import the data set. So after your data appear here, you can click on Import to import the data set. Also, you can choose specific range. Maybe in your entire Excel document, you just want to work from cell this to cell that, and all of you can be able to choose a specific range. You can even choose different sheets. Maybe in that entire workbook of your Excel document, you have maybe Q1, Q2, or you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you just want to analyze data as it relates to the sheet that you label as maybe Q1 or Q2, or maybe students from Sichuan or students from Suzhou and all of that. You can choose a specific sheet to work with as well. So we'll cancel this guy. That's how you can do it using a graphical meta. You can also do it using the command as well, or using a code. That means you have to create a variable that would store this data you are trying to import. You create this variable. Variable is just basically, call it like a container. Because inside a variable, we store things. You can consider a variable, I usually give this example. In our kitchen, we have different variables. Maybe you have one variable named as the salt jar. You have another one for black pepper. You have another one for maybe cubes. You have another one for curry pepper, or just different variables you have. And then within each of those jars, you have the things that are stored within. So it gives you easier means of knowing what to call or what to use. So it's advisable when you are creating a variable, you give that variable name, something that you can remember once you see the name. So for example, the name here is survey data. So it reminds me that there was a survey that was done, which is the responses that we got from you guys when we asked you to do the feedback form we should talk about. So we call that variable survey data. It can be any name, but that name cannot start with a number. It cannot start with underscore. So you can start maybe with any letter, but then after that letter, you can put a number, you can put underscore. But a variable name in most programming languages, not just for R, it cannot start with a number. Not just R. Many programming languages, you cannot create a variable with this. So let's say you create this variable or you have this variable in your kitchen for this jar, or you have all of the salt. And you also have another variable called sugar. So inside the survey data is where we have the responses. You can see that there's an Excel document with the extension XLXX. There's an Excel document, survey responses, right? And these ones are all the path or the folders or directory that will lead us to that data. So the different folders you actually move into, for which you save your file in. So you can also reference it like this. So once you do this, it's going to import your data set. So for example, if you have maybe 2 jars, one is salt, one is sugar, but then you finish all of your sugar, all of your salt, and then you start to use that sugar jar to put pepper inside. Probably mostly happen, I don't want to be discriminatory, but in most homes, we use empty containers, even spray bottle. When the spray finish, people can use it to put something inside. So we usually have these things. So you are confusing a variable. Now, if somebody tried to borrow or ask you for salt, and you say, oh, go in the kitchen, and you will see the jar is there with, and you will see it there. The person go into your kitchen and you see this jar or this variable name that is labeled on it called salt. They take that without testing, since the salt and the sugar have the same color, without testing, they take that jar and actually have sugar in it, and they went and put it in their food. So now it becomes Mr. Ibu and Son, where you have somebody that's cooking with a lot of sugar. So it's good to give your variable a name that you can remember, right? And here we also have, if you check above here, we have different, you see something in libraries and then different names inside. So whenever we install a package, the package basically and libraries basically operate in this pattern. Let's say we have our university. In our university, we want to go and use this book. Maybe it's organic chemistry, right? Or calculus 2. To use that calculus 2 book, you have to go to a library. And then when you get to the library, you have to know the name of that book you want to use from the library. So it's the same concept here. We call this library because it has so many books within it. And one of the books that we want to use is called ggplot2. So ggplot you can consider it as organic chemistry or calculus 2. And then since you know that organic chemistry or calculus 2 as a book is related to maybe differential derivatives and Laplace rule and all of these things, you understand that that book is specific for that. It's the same concept of ggplot2. So ggplot2 is the grammar of graphics. GG, grammar of graphics. So that guy is basically there to make your graphs, to make like what we can see here, this graph we have down here. We use that library for it. So we don't use this library, we will not be able to generate beautiful graphs and graphs that we can even customize. for you to read more about ggplot2, you can even come to your help area here, down here. And then in here, you can, in the search bar, you can put ggplot. So as you try to tap, it's going to give you suggestions. You see that it pops up different things here, ggplot and ggplot2. So ggplot2 is like the advanced version of GG. And like we said, GG is grammar of graphics. So once you enter the name in there and you hit on enter, it's going to give you documentations and every other thing you need to know about this ggplot, and the different syntax, different pattern, and so many things. Give you example on how to use it. It gives you also, you can see here now it's up. So create elegant data visualization using grammar of graphics. So that is the whole description of ggplot. So now you know that, okay, if I want to create elegant data visualization, I need to use this, this book from this library. So it gives you the description of it. It also tell you the author, because it's an open source, even yourself. If you sit for long and you realize that people are suffering and not knowing how to do a particular thing, you can go and design it. Design your own library, design your own package, and then you can release it out there. Somebody can also go and install your package. For example, maybe your package name is Bosco, or your package name is a Quinetta, right? And then once you make your package free, because R and RStudio is free, so all of these packages that people are developing is free. And it even gives you the ability to customize it. So you can give a description of your package to say, maybe, for example, if the package name is roofing, or the package name is Jenny, right? Then you give a description on what that package actually does. So once you install the package, to use the package, you have to use the command library, parenthesis open, and the name of the package. R and RStudio gave you suggestion every time. So if you can't remember the full name or the full spelling, once you put GG, it will try to give you a hint to every package or library that you have that starts with the name GG. So all of these ones are packages that are loaded based on the tasks that I have to do. For data manipulation, maybe you want to change a column name, you want to change, you want to delete missing data, you want to refill or import missing data. All of these ones, they are used for them. So to read about them or know about them, you can come to your help area here and just put the name of that book, and it's going to give you all the description. So after we executed that by running this line, to run the line, you can either highlight this entire thing and use Control L, or you can just hit on the run button right here to run any part of the code. So you can run a particular session. For example, these are whole block of code. So if I just want to run only this line, I can highlight only this line and then hit on run. Or I can come behind this line. Once the cursor is blinking behind this line, I can also click on run. Or even in front of the line, I can also click on run. So it's going to run that particular line, not the entire block of code. Okay, so in the first one, after we loaded it, we try to test different graphs to see which graph is going to be better. So for this one was generating a bar plot for the overall satisfaction. So if you observe, you will see there's an asterisk, or not asterisk, but a pound sign or hash symbol. We use that as something called to comment. Almost all programming languages, we read comments. Comments help us to understand what a particular line of code is doing or what a particular block of code is doing. So if anybody see this, you know that this entire block of code is basically about bar plot for overall satisfaction. This one below here, number 2, is about a pie chart of feature participants or participation. So to run this entire block now, I can highlight everything here, and click on run. So once I click on run, you see here in my plot area, it gave me the overall satisfaction level from the people who provided, fill in the survey. We had over 100 plus people saying the overall satisfaction of the program of last year was good. We have less number of persons saying it was moderate. So this one also is about the pie chart to show us feature participation. That is when we ask them, are you willing to join feature program? Many people said yes. Some people said maybe, some people said no. So these are all like the graphical analysis of it. With this, you can do different analysis, not just graph. You can do t-tests. You can do ANOVA, that is analysis of variance. You can do chi-square tests. You can do reliability tests. There are so many tests you can do. So based on your research, your supervisor will either tell you to do maybe chi-square tests, reliability tests, ANOVA, and different things. So when you're doing a t-test, it's basically you want to check, basically dealing with numerical variables to see the relationship. Why this thing, maybe we're saying that many men love to give women gifts, right? So how can we justify that men really love to give women gifts, or women don't like to give men gifts? So how can we justify that? When we run our analysis based on the sample we have collected, we can do a t-test on that, choosing one variable or one column, maybe about specific thing within the data. So when we get to that point, we talk about it. So all these ones are basically just to give us different graphs that we could use for our analysis. So yeah, I think I will stop here. We got 3 minutes to 9 o'clock, and then we can do our take question and then do our attendance for today. We should end by 9:30 officially, but we can do our attendance for today and call it a day. So I hope this has given you a little bit of motivation, that you have system of software you can use for free to analyze. Maybe in your family, you guys are a lot, and then you want to do analysis on why is it that some of your, or maybe why is it your mother like to cook beans maybe twice a week. So you call all of your brothers and sisters together and you get their feedback. Do you like beans? Yes or no? So when you're developing your survey or your questionnaire, then you can put all of these things there. Do you like beans? Please share WhatsApp group link. Do you like this one? So you get all of the answers, and then you can do the analysis to know why I say that we cook beans every week in this house. Probably maybe 90% of your brothers and sisters or your entire family like beans. So your mother always like to cook beans. So you can also use this to at least show them something that, oh, I have a new skill. And even in your classroom, even your courses, you can even analyze your grades per semester. Why I say that my grade is dropping this semester, but then the last 2 semesters, my grade were good. So you can do analysis on all of these things. Just get your data and move it. R also have inbuilt different data set that you can practice with. Maybe you don't have Excel file, you don't have CSV file, you don't have SPSS file or data set. R has inbuilt data set that you can use. Inbuilt data set that you can use. So once you run this command, data, parenthesis, open and closes, it should show you all of the data sets that you have to your disposal. So you can see I have all of these data sets free. And on the right side, I give you the description of that data set. For example, under the package data set, we have a data set called air passengers. This data set is specifically for monthly airline passengers numbers days to days. Also BJ sales about sales data with learning indicators. So you have a free data set to work with, to practice, and just play around with it. R gives you the ability to do so. And you don't need internet to basically work with R. You can work with it offline. So just take a computer, go in one corner, and just analyze data and stay informed. Thank you so much. I didn't see any question here. So we're going to stop here and go to our, and encourage you to turn on your camera. Turn on your camera so we can do our attendance for today. If you want to appreciate the speaker, you can say thank you, speaker. Say thank you, speaker. Speaker, thank you. Okay, so let's do our attendance.
Thank you.
You can turn on your camera. Let's do our attendance. For those of us that
CEO, I would like to say thank you for the presentation.
okay, thank you too for your attendance.
Thank you very much, boss. We appreciate.
All right. So, yes.
Yes. CEO, I'm not cutting you just to remind you about the private message I sent you. Please look at
If
it.
you send it on Zoom.
I sent it on Zoom and I texted you on WhatsApp.
Okay, I think I'll check the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank
Sir,
you.
thank you for this wonderful presentation. I am asking a question: whether if there is an app version of R RStudio and you didn't respond to it.
App version, you can install the app on your computer. There's an app version, you can install it on your computer, not on your phone. You install the software on your computer, not on your phone, or else you will crash your phone. Okay, so let's do the attendance. Gaje, do you have a question? Your hand is up.
Yes, I got a question. Firstly, thank you for the presentation. So as I learned from you, the RStudio, you can use it. It is not internet based, despite it uses internet, but it is not internet based. So having worked with it offline, like if you work with other data collection tools, you have to. Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, am I still here?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I was like, if I work with it offline, can I, if I get back online and put on my internet, will my data automatically be saved on the cloud, or do I have to do other function to have it saved on the cloud?
Whether you get on, internet or not, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be synchronized. Whatever you are doing is safe to your environment. So you don't have to worry if you get on internet, it will save on cloud. There is no cloud aspect there. You just have to save your work on your computer. So it's totally, not internet. Except you want to download, even still on Gazelle, except you want to download a specific package from the internet, then you can use the internet for that. So please, at this point in time, please don't send a message before you block somebody's name. We are going to do the attendance now. So I'm taking the first train. We have 8 trains to take. So please, if your camera was not on, just leave it off. If it was on, leave it on. Or else you must switch to a particular string and you don't know. So always you can go back to YouTube and then skip the video till this time. and you will see that we are taking the attendance. So if you don't see yourself in the PDF document that will be shared, you can always go back to YouTube and watch the video, or just skip it and find yourself here. Send us a screenshot. Don't be the Steven that won't be casting over me. But I'm really fine. Okay, I've taken the second one. Let me take this one, the third one.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we should be having a speaker that was not available for yesterday. And then we should be having another speaker, Hadji, who is now the IT director at Ministry of Agriculture in Liberia. We should be having him tomorrow as well. And we should be having Willie, who is working at the World Bank as a consultant. We should be having him tomorrow as well. So on the other speaker that will come on the 21st, TNE, he was here before, and many of you actually love his presentation and his sharing. So he'll be back this time around. He called himself the AI or machine learning guy. So all of your AI and machine learning questions you have, you can keep them and direct them to him. He will be joined by Ellen, that will be joining us from Harvard University to tell us about the mathematics behind this whole AI and machine learning thing. So we hope that our mathematics skills are on tight. So that one is not about computer. So all the math students, when they are taking us to another level, they should also advocate the same way I advocated for non-technical things. So I think I've taken them already. Let me just do one time, showing through the YouTube. Pin 1, pin 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Thank you all so much for joining today.